Once again, good morning. Welcome to social class. Today, I'm going to cover the part 2 of your lesson, that is Hydrosphere part 2. So before of that, starting the part 2, first of all, I will revise what you learned in the part 1. So in the part 1, you learn about what is hydrosphere, and if we have some doubts on the questions about rainfall and what ocean water, so what we are going to be learn, and also we learn that the 6 stages of hydrological cycle about evaporation, transportation, condensation, and precipitation, runoff, and also the groundwater. Then after that you learn that water source, that how much percentage of water found on the salty, that you can say the saline water, and how much water is a fresh water. So before in the starting only we learn that is that 1% of water is needed sufficient to the people. Similarly, we are not at all using more water, we are using less than 1% of water that can found on the surface and also in the region of groundwater. So that water is also sufficient for the people, those who are living on the earth. And also morning I explained that about oceans. So we have that 5 oceans. In that 5 oceans, if you take an example, first one is Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and also that Antarctic Oceans. So where these are the oceans comes, in which continent these oceans are divides, and once upon a time what is the name of these all the oceans. So once upon a time all the oceans are together and they are called as Pantalsa, and all the continents together it is calling as Pangaea. So now we don't have that one continent and one ocean. These continents and also that ocean split it and move towards the one side to other side. So that is we learn in the second lesson, that is tectonic theory or continental drift theory. Now we see that next topic is about relief. Relief of ocean, otherwise calling as that physical division of a ocean, we calling as a relief of the ocean. If you observe the relief of the ocean, first of all we have to know that how the land occupies mountains, plains, plateaus, and also that low-lying areas. Similarly, in the oceans also, the ocean is divided into 4 based upon the physiographical divisions. One is called as Continental Self, second one is called Continental Slope, third one is Deep Sea Plain, and the last one is Oceanic Trenches. So if you observe that relief of ocean based upon the depth of the ocean is going to be divided into that 4. One is called as Continental Self, next Continental Slope, next Deep Sea Plain, and the last one is Oceanic Trenches. So these are the 4. So one more time to revise. The first one is called as Continental Self, second one is Continental Slope, third one is Deep Sea Plain, the fourth one is Oceanic Trenches. So what is this? These all are. First I'll start with the first one, Continental Self. The continental shelf is a one take an example, if it is in an ocean, maybe that here also one land, here also other land. So a area which connects between land to sea and also the sea to land. Continental shelf is an area which is connecting between the land to sea and also the sea to land. Is a first starting portion is called as continental shelf. And also not only this side, here also we can get the continental shelf. So in the ocean, this continental shelf will get 7.6%. So the 7.6% of the ocean, that's a part of continental shelf. Okay, let's come to that. What is the point? The first point is the depth should be 200 meters. So if you take an example starting from the land to sea, and here the depth should be 200 meters. It means inside. It means lotu in Telugu. So that the depth between the 0 to 200 meters will consider as a continental shelf. So one more time. The first relief feature of ocean was continental shelf. The continental shelf was a starting area or starts from the land to sea and also the sea to land. And also this portion can found in the ocean 7.6%, and here you can say that the depth of the ocean is 200 meters. So in this area the depth is 200 meters. So one of the biggest continental shelf in the world was Siberian shelf that you can found in the region of Arctic Ocean. So one of the Siberian shelf that you can found in the region of Arctic Ocean, the 15,000 kilometers was found under that Siberian 1500 kilometers in this one, 1500 kilometers in the area of Siberian shelf, that is a part of continental shelf. So one of the biggest continental shelf that you can find in the ocean of Siberian shelf, that's in the region of Arctic Ocean. So one more time, what is called as continental shelf? So continental shelf was the first area in the ocean. It starts between the land to sea and also the sea to land. That's the starting points. And here in every ocean, this one we can get 7.6%. One of the biggest continental shelf in the world was Siberian shelf that you can find in the region of Arctic Ocean. Here is 200 meters the depth will consider as a continental shelf. In every ocean, this one will get 7.6% of the area comes under the continental shelf. Second one is called as continental slope. What is called as continental slope? So before of starting the continental slope, we can say the use of continental shelf. The continental shelf can be used for the purpose of the construction of seaports. So in the continental shelf only we can construct the seaports. Next, natural gas can found in the region of continental shelf, that we know that digging that in the ocean for the purpose of natural gas like a oil, petroleum, diesel, these all the things. So continental shelf is an area which can be used for the purpose of natural gas and also for the purpose of fishes, chepalu. The fishes can found in the region of continental shelf, and also seaport construction. So three uses: seaport construction, the fishes, the next one is the natural gas found in the area of continental shelf only. Then come to that continental slope. Continental slope, that is distance is 200 meters to 3000 meters. That depth will consider as a continental slope. It means here that is the first one is called as continental shelf. that occupies 7.6 percentage. Then if you go inside of ocean, that says that 15 percentage of the ocean that is comes under the continental slope. How much? 15 percentage of the ocean is comes under continental slope, and the depth is between 200 meters to 3000 meters. What is the use of continental slope? Use of continental slope was in this area only glaciers are going to be melt. So glaciers are going to be melt and flow like a rivers, particularly in the region of Arctic and also in the region of Antarctic side. So the glaciers are going to be melt and flow like a rivers, and also submarines. So submarines can enter in the region of continental slope only. So where it can be enters? Continental slope. So second one is continental slope. The continental slope, the distance between 200 meters to 3000 meters. It occupies 15 percentage of the ocean, and here is the use of this slope was, it can be glaciers are going to be melt and the rivers flow like a glaciers melt and the water flow like a river, and submarine also can be enter. So next one is deep sea plain, or else called as abyssinian plain. So this is an area, one of the important area. It takes 76.2 percentage of the ocean, 76.2 percentage of ocean that is comes under deep sea plain, that is between 3000 meters to 6000 meters depth, that you can found in the region of deep sea plain, or is called as abyssal plain. And here we can find these lowest areas and also the mountains. How we have that mountains, plateaus, plains on the land, that you can find in the region of deep sea plain. So this is a one of the middle of the ocean. That is saying that deep sea plain or abyssal plain is a one area which takes the depth is between 3000 to 6000 meters, and this one will occupies maximum area, that is 76.2 percentage of the area comes under the deep sea plain. The last one is called oceanic trenches. So we know that oceanic trench means that lowest portions of the ocean is called as oceanic trench. So take an example, if it is in an ocean, the lowest portion is considering as that oceanic trench, and a balance that you can say comes under that oceanic trench. Take an example, one of the lowest portion of the ocean in the world was Mariana Trench. What you can say that Mariana Trench, the depth was 11,022 meters. So Mariana Trench, that's the depth was 11,022 meters, that you can found in the region of Pacific Ocean. And other one is called as naves, that you can found in the region of 10,475. It can found in the region of Atlantic Ocean. So 11,022 meters that you can found in the region of Pacific Ocean, and it is the deepest portion in the ocean. And the next one is called as it is called naves, that you can found in the region of Atlantic Ocean. The depth was 10,475. And one more is called as Java, that you can found in the region of Indonesia, and the depth was 7,450 meters. So before of that, so first of all we will revise what we learn in this first. So we learn about the relief, about continental self, continental slope, deep sea plain, and also that oceanic trenches. So based upon the depth, we divided that ocean into the 4 parts. In the first part of the ocean, that is the continental self, the depth was 200 meters. This one be using for the purpose of construction of seaports, and also that feces and also natural gas. Next, continental slope can be used, submarines can be entered in this area, and glaciers melt and they flow like a rivers. And the last one is main important, there's a deep sea plain and also abyssal plain. The last one is oceanic trenches. So next one is salinity of the ocean. Just you see that salinity means salt percentage of the water is called as salinity. Before of that, have you ever tasted the food without salt? So we never, because we are the people of human being, we are habituated with the salt, and without salt we cannot eat that food also. So whatever we are eating the salt, where this salt is coming, means from where the salt is coming, is there any restrictions on the salt? And what will happen is that is in your village we have a tanks, is the tanks are having a salt, or is the river is having a salt? These are some different type of questions can be arises. Even if you take an example, Mahatma Gandhi in 1920s time also, they led the biggest movement, that you can say that salt satyagraha, that is called as salt satyagraha, or else called as civil disobedient movement. It means once upon a time British government, they have a right to prepare the salt, and they have that monopoly. It means they only can prepare the salt and they only can sell the salt. So at that time Mahatma Gandhi led the movement against of the British government for to take the rights from the British government and to prepare the salt by the people of India. So before of starting this, so should we know that one more time? So we never tasted food without salt, and the salt, where this salt can found, and where the source of salt is your the tank of your village is having any salt, or is your river of your area is consisting the salt. So these all the questions will come. Now we see that we will observe this topic, then we can understand that what is meant by salinity, from where we are going to get that salt. Salinity means salt percentage in the water is called as salinity. So we have that sodium chloride, or is called NaCl. NaCl is called as sodium chloride, or it is called table salt. So table salt means in every homes, on the dining table we have the salt box. So that's why I'm saying that the sodium chloride consisting with the salt, and every house we have the salt box. So now we have to know that from where this salt comes and how this salt was using nowadays in our home. So first one, this salt. We know that oceans are found a long years before. Oceans are formed a long years before. When the oceans was formed, at the time onwards, daily, and that there are water is transported from rivers, and also that rivers to the seas, seas to the lakes, rivers to the seas, and also that first rivers to the lakes, ponds, and also the seas, then finally joins in the region of oceans. So for traveling from one place to other place at the time, so take an example, this is called as a river is traveling along with the water. When the water is traveling, we know that in every place this water is touches to the rocks, and also that this river water is having that mud consisting with some different type of minerals. So day by day, long years of time, this water is flowing. When the water is flowing from this place to other area, this water is eroded. Eroded means touches the rocks, and the top layer of the rock is also washed, and this top layer also travels along with this water, and it joins in the region of oceans. Clear? And this is in a top layer consisting with the sodium chloride, and after long days of time, this is going to be converted into the salt. How it is? So this is in a ocean water. If this take an example, this is called as a salt pan, and here due to the sunlight, the water of the salt is going to be evaporated. After evaporation of that water, the salinity water, it is called as the ocean water, and then there is only the salt can be remains there only. So this is in a portion which can be found that in our topic. So one more time, how the salt can found in the region of oceans. Thousands of years called billions of years onwards, water transporting from one place to other place. In this process, the river will travel thousands of kilometers of time. Between of travel, this water will erode, means touches and separates the top layer of the rocks, and this water also consisting with some different type of minerals. All the rocks, minerals and everything will join in the region of oceans, and this is the top layer of the rocks consisting with the sodium chloride. In the popular it is called as table salt, and chemical language is called as NaCl. With this, the salt is going to be formed. So due to the evaporation, the water is going to be evaporated and the salt remains found on the earth. See that how to find out the salinity terms. And if this water is having that 35% or 35 parts out of 1000 parts, that water is called as average salinity. That water is called as average salinity. If it means out of 1000% means 1000 points, or else called 1000 parts, 35 parts are salt parts. So whichever the water we are drinking, either mineral water or else called as manjira water, that water is also having some different type of minerals. Without minerals, our health cannot be survive, means we are the people cannot survive properly. So for every person we require that some of the minerals for growing of our development. But the thing is, if you take in 1000 parts of water, if the water is having the 35 parts of salinity, that water is called as normal salinity. That you can say that. What are the factors that affects the salinity of the land? There are some factors. First factor is if there is a rain. If there is a rain, automatically salinity is going to be decreased. So take an example. If you have that 1 bucket of water and mix into the 1 bucket 1 kilo of salt, you see the taste. Then you take that half liter of means half bucket of water and mix that 1 kilo of salt, you see the difference. Similarly, more water, less salinity. More water in the sense of a rainfall. If the rainfall is there, the salinity is come to that less. So rainfall, otherwise called as flow of water in the form of river. So the water goes through the river and it going to be joined in the region of lakes or anything, then the salinity is come to that very less. Next one is evaporation. Evaporation. If there is a more evaporation, automatically salinity is also having that more. Take an example, heavy temperature takes that more water. If heavy temperature takes more water, automatically it affects that salinity also. So in the region of oceans, if there is salinity, it will take more salt. It means water is going to be evaporated. So the reason, first, there are two factors. One is called as evaporation and other one is the rainfall. They are playing very crucial role. Even that ocean currents also. If the water is moving from one area to other area also, that is also affected that salinity in the oceans. Then take that next small topic, ocean's temperature. What is calling as ocean's temperature. Ocean's temperature is between -2 degrees to 29 degrees. The temperature of the ocean is about -2 degrees to 29 degrees. This temperature is various, means different between one area to other area. In one area, the temperature is different. In other area, the temperature is different. But the average temperature of the ocean is -2 degrees to 29 degrees. You see that we are the people, we are staying on the earth in the region of Asian continent or else any other continent. Our temperature means Indian temperature or else called as some Asian countries temperature is completely depend upon the two winds which comes at the time of southwest monsoons. So we studied about southwest monsoon in the class 7. Southwest monsoon and also called as northeast monsoons. But southwest monsoon is comes because of the two winds El Nino and also called as La Nino. What is called? El Nino and also called as La Nino. These are the two winds which changes the temperature on the earth, which is affecting that global temperatures, particularly in the region of northern hemisphere side. So the temperature is mainly because of El Nino and also called as La Nino, that is comes at the time of southwest monsoon. But in the region of ocean, the temperature is different between the temperature comes -2 degrees to 29 degrees. Then come to that. If we go down of ocean, then the temperature is going to be decreases. The first 1 kilometer of distance, the temperature is steadily somewhat not high and not low. After 1 kilometers, the temperature is going to be reduced up to that 2 degrees temperature. It means it goes maximum up to the -2 degrees only. So one more time, the temperature of a ocean. The temperature of a ocean is completely depends upon the area and also the land. So we are the people, we are affecting that temperature changes because of El Nino and also that La Nino. These two are the winds occurs at the time of southwest and also the southwest monsoon. The winds names was El Nino and also called as La Nino. The temperature of the ocean is between -2 degrees to 29 degrees. The temperature is, as we goes down, the temperature is going to be decreased. But first 1 kilometer is different. After 1 kilometer, that the temperature steadily it goes up to that -2 degrees only. Next one is called as ocean currents. We know that what is meant by ocean currents. Then I will explain. There are some factors of the ocean currents. Ocean currents means movement of water from one place to other place in the oceans are called as ocean currents. Ocean currents means movement of water from one place to another place is called as ocean currents. Sometimes this ocean currents goes very fast, sometimes it goes to that slow also. If the ocean currents goes very fast, that is called a stream. What is called? It is called a stream. The ocean currents goes fast, it is called a stream. If it is goes slow, it is called as a drift. So if the ocean currents goes very fast, it is called a stream. If it is goes slow, it is called as drift. There are some of the factors which influence that temperature and also called as ocean currents. What are the following factors? So I will explain directly. The first one is called as centrifugal force. What is called centrifugal force? Centrifugal, F-U-G-A-L. Centrifugal force means at the time of Earth revolution and also called as at the time of Earth rotation. At the time of Earth revolution and also the rotation time, there is a more pressure. There is a more pressure on the center, that you can say that, on the region of equator. So because of this pressure, this water, they will go towards to the north or else they will go towards to the south. Centrifugal force means this, the force or a pressure occurs at the time of Earth revolution and also the rotation. At the time of rotation and revolution, the pressure is on the center. Because of that pressure, this water is flows towards the north or else called as south. This is one of the factors for ocean currents. Next one is calling as effects of the winds. So effects of the wind is also called as, you see that here I will draw, this is called as water is going to be flow. So what is happening that water is flowing in the region of oceans. When the water is going to be flow in the ocean, then this is called as frictional gliding. Gliding means fast falling on the water. So the winds which falls on the water, because of this frictional glide of winds, this water, for example, water is going towards this side. Then because of the pressure, the direction of the wind can be changed. So what are the role of winds for ocean currents? Water is flowing on the ocean. When the water is flowing, directly the winds will fall very fast on the water, that you can say the frictional glides. Because of that pressure on the water, this water will take the side of the direction. Either it goes towards to the north or else it goes towards to the south also. Next one is called precipitation. So what is meant by a precipitation? Precipitation means the rainfall. Particularly, we know that in the region of equatorial region, because of high temperature, there is a chance for high rainfall. So because of the high rainfall also, then rainfall is also called as precipitation. So because of high rainfall, the areas of the equatorial regions covers with the water. Because of high water, this water is going towards the other direction side, either north or else called as south side. That you can say that because of the sea level is going to be increased. When the sea level is going to be increased, automatically the pressure of the water is also going to be increased. It can be goes to the other direction. Next one is solar energy. If the solar energy is very high, automatically it also affects to the ocean currents. So solar energy means we know that energy from the sun. So because of the energy from the sun, there is a more evaporation and the sea level is going to be decreased, and it is also affect to the ocean currents. So one more time, what are the 4 factors that affect to the ocean currents? First one is centrifugal force. Centrifugal force, it means because of the earth rotation and also the revolution, the effect comes on the center of the earth on the equator. So because of this force, this water is moved towards the north or south. Next one is effects of wind. The frictional glide of wind is going to be affected on the water. Because of the frictional glide, the water is converting the direction. It is also goes towards the north or south. This is also one of the factors. Next one is precipitation. Because of precipitation, because of heavy rainfall, the sea level is going to be increased, and there is a heavy pressure or energy, and the water can go towards the other side. Final one is solar energy. Because of solar energy, then the rainfall means energy. Because of energy, water content can be decreased. When the water content can be decreased, automatically it also affects the sea level. Because of that also there is a chance to be occurs to the ocean currents. Next come to that last one, what is the ocean as a resource? We know that ocean as a resource, that what is the uses of oceans. A lot of people they are studying on oceans and ocean beds, and lot of civilizations also found on the bed of the ocean. So we know that dinosaurs that you can find in the region of Australia and also the New Zealand, that is also on the region of ocean's bed only. It means the civilizations was hiding in the oceanic bed. The history of the world can found in the region of oceanic beds only. Then you see that what are the uses of oceans? The first use of ocean was this one can use for the purpose of the fishing and everything. Aquatic business is possible through the development of oceans, and also the natural gas can found. And present days it's also preparing that power generation is also come through the oceans, and gems and pearls can found from the oceans, and also it is using as a natural business. They can say that natural routes. It is not required to construct road on the ocean. They can say that international trade, international business is possible through the development of the oceans only. And also lot of things. It can be the sand and gruel also can be used for the purpose of the construction purpose. So oceans is a one which is providing that lot of support to the development of human. But nowadays the oceans are one of the victims because of the exploitation of the people. So we are the people, after eating that some of the food items, then the plastic package items we are throwing on the oceans. So oceans are going to be lost their influence. That is also one of the factors. So my dear students, once what you learn in this hydrosphere, the yesterday's lesson and also the today's lesson, you know that what is meant by hydrosphere. Next, hydrological cycle. Next, water as a source. Next, about oceans and relief of oceans. Next, after relief, we learned today about the temperature, salinity, ocean as a resource, and also the effects of ocean currents, and also what is called as a drift and also called as stream. So thank you, my dear children, and try to complete the worksheet and send to my number. Thank you.